What I've found effective is to apply steady, consistent pressure, even as we are getting business done that needs to get done. And oftentimes that makes some of our allies uncomfortable. It makes them frustrated. But the trend line is one that I will sustain throughout the rest of my presidency, and that is to make an argument to those friends and allies of ours that if they want a society that is going to be able to sustain itself in this age, then they're going to have to change how they do business.
All right. Hey, he's had a very successful foreign policy, so he's going to keep on doing what he's doing. Even if our allies don't like it, they could become enemies, and our enemies could become allies, and that's not too far from his foreign policy. Joining us now on the Malzberg panel, senior fellow at FreedomWorks, Tom Borelli, and columnist for Breitbart.com and American Thinker, C. Edmund Wright. And gentlemen, let's start with some success signs of the president's foreign policy. Of course, Yemen fell in an Iranian-backed effort. Hezbollah today, their biggest attack inside of Israel since 2006, an Iranian proxy, an Iranian-backed effort. Yet Barack Obama has convinced, I don't know what he has on Senator Menendez and some of the others, but the Democrats have magically backed off, and they're not going to press ahead and pressure for sanctions because the president doesn't want them to. So, Edmund, what the heck's going on here?
Well, I think we're getting, even more of a glimpse into, the soul of Barack Obama and where his allegiances really lie. And I mean, clearly, if you look at his writing as he was a student and a law professor, whatever that position was, his allegiances don't lie with this country. They don't lie with the friends of this country. They don't align with, what this country stands for. And 6 years of foreign policy has sort of proven that over and over again.
Yeah, Tom?
Retreat, retreat, retreat. And let's not forget letting the prisoners go from Gitmo and all the prisoners swapped. So again, he's trying to reduce our footprint around the world, without the consequences. And let's not forget, the disastrous move he made with Iraq by, pulling out all the troops and letting ISIS take over. I mean, that was a huge blunder that we're still paying for and will be paying for in the future.
And Tom mentions prisoner swaps, and the Bergdahl situation we're going to address later in this show, but it appears he's going to be charged with desertion, although they're going to water it down. They're going to give him, believe it or not, time served for the time he was allegedly held prisoner by the Taliban. They're going to give him like a dishonorable discharge, no jail time. These are the rumors. But there's a prisoner swap being proposed that Jordan apparently is going to participate in with ISIS, where the pilot that ISIS captured will be released, and Jordan will release this would-be female suicide bomber who they've been holding for years. So, I mean, Edmund, I think Barack Obama set the tone by releasing these 5 Taliban thugs in return for a U.S. deserter. And now, other countries are saying, well, if the U.S. could do it, we could do it too.
Well, yeah, and let's give Jordan credit. At least they're getting a one-for-one swap. When we released the 5 prisoners and got Bergdahl back, we were really 0 for 6 because none of those 6 guys are really on our side. Again, this talks to the allegiances of Barack Obama. So actually, I think Jordan is crafting a much better deal than Obama did with Bergdahl.
And that's true, Tom. And I like the fact that he said that it's a much better deal. Bergdahl hasn't been convicted yet, and hasn't officially been accused. But all you had to do is read those New York Times stories with the emails that he sent to his parents, that his parents sent to him, the letter he left that was found for his troops. I mean, this guy, in my opinion, is a deserter.
Well, you have to remember, President Obama did that high-profile press conference with his parents at the White House. So, of course, they have to figure a way to let him off easy. Otherwise, it would be a huge embarrassment for the president.
Yeah, Edmund, I'm glad you've been saying his allegiances, and I got to tell you, it really does beg the question. He talked about not meeting with Netanyahu, to Fareed Zakaria. We played this earlier, and he said because it's too close to the election. And then he came out with a statement saying something to the effect of, even with our closest allies, we wouldn't do that. So in other words, he left Israel off that closest allies list.
Yeah, that was a classic political Freudian slip. But it's even worse with regard to Israel. There's pretty good reports in some Israeli newspapers that some of Obama's fundraisers are raising funds to help Netanyahu's opposition. They want to take Bibi out of power.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he doesn't want him here to benefit, but he don't think he's not trying to influence the election the other way over there. All right, more with C. Edmund Wright and with Tom Borelli after the break as the Malzberg panel continues. All right, what you're looking at there was the president, and the blurred portion was the First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama. There's some controversy as to whether or not, and differing of opinion as to whether or not Saudi TV blurred Michelle Obama. We have people who have tweeted from within Saudi Arabia saying, no, we saw her, she wasn't blurred, but who the heck knows? But and we can put up the other picture, the A portion of that cut, where you could see Michelle Obama did not wear the Muslim head garb. She shook the hand of the Saudi officials. She wore a dress that was criticized as well, or an outfit, I should say, that was criticized as well. No headscarf. And rejoining us on the panel is C. Edmund Wright and Tom Borelli. And Tom, you know, the controversy never stops. But here's the funny part. The president thought he had this warm relationship with the king of Saudi Arabia, yet Richard Engel of NBC News announced to the world that the king despised, I mean, he pulled no punches. The king hated Barack Obama.
Well, that's news. That's not a way, not a nice way to be a reception there. But you know, a lot to do about nothing with respect to what Michelle was wearing. I mean, she was really covered, her arms, her legs, no big deal. In fact, Laura Bush didn't wear the head veil back in 2006, and Fox News host Greta Van Susteren and Washington Post columnist Kathleen Parker, they were there. They didn't wear the headdress. So it's much to do about nothing. But your point, I think there's a bigger issue there that we all have to be concerned about.
Yeah, I don't know if he bowed, Edmund, but if he did, I missed it.
Well, it wasn't caught on someone taking a selfie or snapping a photo. But I agree with Tom on this. It may be the first time I've actually kind of agreed with what Michelle Obama did or said. I mean, her $300,000 no-show job in Chicago was a joke. Her comment about being proud of this country for the first time was a joke, and her lunch program's a joke. But actually, you know, good for her not putting up with the ridiculous limitations on women in Saudi Arabia.
I agree, and let's not forget that she also, her stump speech in 08 also talked about how we were a downright mean nation, which went way beyond not being proud of her country. But Loretta Lynch, confirmation hearing started today. She said waterboarding is torture and therefore it's illegal. She said she favors the president executive order. She says illegals have every right to work just like anybody else. So, Edmund, why the heck would Republicans confirm her?
Because Mitch McConnell is the majority leader and they have no backbone. You know, they think they're up there to get along with the Obama administration. You know, she's a disaster for all the reasons you just said. I actually hadn't heard the part about waterboarding. You know, maybe she's the only one on the planet who believes that ridiculous Senate report of a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Pat Leahy asked her about, and they're making a big deal that she took less than 10 seconds to say it's torture and it's illegal. Boom, that was her answer. What about it, Tom?
Well, remember, she's going to replace Eric Holder, so that's a pretty low bar to, you know, kind of get over. You know, we can't be concerned about, we can't be surprised, excuse me, about what her views are. After all, she is
Yeah. No prayer, right, Edmund?
No, I didn't know that, Tom. Thank you for that information. Wow. So that's one of the most
dollars, I think.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's one of the worst laws we have, by the way. That's terrible.
Yeah, well, Well, again, I had Orrin Hatch on the other day last week, and he was singing her praises. When John McCain was here about a month ago, he was singing her praises. You wonder who's doing the research on her for these senators, but I'm sure she'll be overwhelmingly confirmed, unfortunately. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Always great to talk to you both on the Malzberg panel. Gimme 5 is next if you stay right here, only on Newsmax Television, Steve Malzberg's show.